Hi guys, here we go. Sparring drills.
Good morning, evening, afternoon. Ma'am, I feel it. Why is that written down?
Don't tell them our cheat sheets.
Why do we need cheat sheets? Go for that. All right. Let's get warmed up. First thing you guys are gonna do is 20 side straddle hops. Stay way up on your toes, making sure you're working the baby cows apart and together. 25. Let's go. 20. Mr. Jim said he's gonna wear me like a backpack today, so he can be my legs.
You see the shy camera people gradually fade backwards.
Get on my neck like you
I'm
did
also,
Bob.
there's 4 of us, and I'm used to like having like the triangle of like the trifecta.
Yeah, well, after I give it exercise,
Except
we
we got
got
this Triforce thing going on.
All right, so
I'm at a-
we're going to do similar to what we did last week, as we're going to do different footwork exercises combined with a kicking exercise that's going to mimic our sparring matches. All right, so the couple footwork exercises that we did are going to stay the same. So let's go ahead and ladder up into that. So side straddles with a knee. So after you pull your feet apart, you come back together with one knee up. Somebody demonstrate. Apart, up, just like that. All right, so we're gonna go for about 30 seconds right here.
Okay, that wasn't very good.
Yeah, we're gonna go for about 30 seconds. Apart, knee up, apart, knee up. Make sure you're
There we
hopping
go, I
on
got it.
every
I got it.
motion. 30 seconds. Start bouncing. Go. Just apart, knee, apart, knee. You're adding too many hops. Just one hop
I
apart.
still don't have it.
One hop apart
Okay.
and then knee up.
Apart, up,
Yeah, like that.
just side to side.
Yeah, well, you should.
No step in the
You should
middle.
feel like you stay in the same spot. So
It's like DDR.
your feet should still be coming back.
DDR, yeah, you can tell how well I would do at DDR, you guys.
She's played it before. All right, and time. At my house, of course. All right.
We got this.
All right, so now let's get into the footwork exercises that we ended up with last week. So what?
Peter, you're a tricking student.
Oh,
Hi,
snap.
Dad.
What's up, Peter? What's going on, bro? I don't know if you're actually doing this with us or if you're just trying to see what we're doing today, but nice to see you on.
You catch that fly.
You got some chopsticks?
Mr. Miyagi.
Yes, and in case anybody has not been up to date, I do have a pulled groin muscle. No, I am not going to have surgery. I have had a couple of you guys ask that question. It's just a pull, which...
See, we're all
Hold on,
we're all watching the
Oh,
fly.
wait, he moved. Dang it, dude. I was about to be Mr. Miyagi on camera. Hold on, wait.
Now you're
My
off
depth
camera.
perception. My depth perception is there. No, if I catch him, I'm bringing him back to the camera and releasing him. I've done it before. Not very often, but all right. So,
So you're sparring.
so yeah, we're going apart, knee up, and then side step. So you're gonna go side step, one knee,
That's
other
what I
knee.
was trying to do.
Side step, one knee, other knee. So can somebody demonstrate that, please?
You do that.
So it's the same jumping jack with the side. Yes, there you go, right here, perfect. All right, so 30 seconds on the clock for this one,
You should be close.
and let's go.
There you go.
Side step.
So do the knee up first. Knee up, then move to the side. Knee up, move to the side. This looks like the worst dance crew ever.
I'm trying to hold this real thing.
Don't try to keep up. Just go at your own pace. 5 seconds. And time. All right. So the issue we're having today is there's normally myself who can do all of these, and Miss Smith that can do all of these, and Mrs. Matthews.
I just pretend.
Mrs. Matthews is the only one that haven't done these particular exercises before, so I slow down for them. But right now we've got 2 out of the 3 amigos. So I'm gonna slow this down just a little bit more to make it a little bit easier for everybody to understand. And it's important for you to not try to keep up with my pace. Well, it's easy to keep up with my pace today, or miss pace or anything like that. What you want to do is you want to get good at the motions that you're making not at keeping up with a specific speed. So I need to be able to go 1, 2, start there, then side step, then 1, 2, side step. And then you should be hopping apart and together like a jumping jack. So if I start on this line, my feet will go apart off the line, but when I go back to my knee up, I'm going to bring my feet back into the line. Unfortunately, I can't do that on the other leg, but just so you guys can get the idea, it's boom. So apart and together, just like a normal jumping jack. So I'm not leaning side to side. Your body stays very central, boom, like that. And then after you hit both legs, so one leg, the other leg, then step, step. Then do it again. It doesn't matter what leg you're picking up. One leg, the other leg, down, then step, step. So take your time, try to figure out that motion. So we're going to give you another 30 seconds. What I want you to do is I want you to go at your own pace and figure out the motion. So don't treat this so much as an exercise for stamina as it is an exercise for dexterity. All right? 30 seconds on the clock. Let's try it again. Go. Apart, up, apart, up. It's not as fast as you think. It's a little bit slower. 1, 2, out. Okay. Okay, I can't do this like you. 1, 2, 1, 2, then step. Alright, and that's time. Yeah, it seems like for these guys, now I can't see
It's
you at home.
okay, we
obviously.
can all fake it, so don't give me that I can't do it.
But what I'm seeing from these guys is the biggest problem is not the side step or even a transition, it's just the jumping jack with the knee up part. So we'll break this down one more time because once again, it's not the cardio that we're after. If it's cardio that we're after, then you simply just keep moving. But we're not going after that. We're trying to get good at making a certain motion or moving out of certain positions. So everybody start feet together. And we're going to walk this. Step 1, hop apart. Step 2, hop again. Don't forget the hop as you pick your knee up. Hop apart, hop and pick the other knee up. Apart, hop knee up. Apart, hop other knee up. Okay, so you need to get that jumping jack rhythm where I'm going bounce, 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 bounce. So it's going to be 4 bounces for one set. Apart, one leg apart, the other leg. And then you remember, you bounce every time. So I'm not just picking up my knee and then picking up my knee, but there's a hop in the middle. So it's got to go feet apart, knee up when my feet come together. Feet apart, and then knee up when my feet come together. So if you're hopping from one foot to the other, you're trying too hard to go fast, and you're not letting the entire motion develop. It's got to go apart every time, and then together, and then apart again, and then a right leg. So if I'm doing this without a hop, or without that many hops, it would look something more like one knee, both feet, hop right here. One knee, both feet. All right, so I can go lift, hop, if it's too hard on my joints or anything like that. But what you really want is the hop for the knee up too. The biggest reason you want that is most of my chambers, 99% of my chambers, are going to come out of a slide position. There are the times that it's not is when I'm on defense or you're backing up or anything like that. Those are going to be plants. But if I'm moving forward, aggressive, which is most of our fighting style, you want to be hopping into that chamber, not stepping into the chamber. Okay, so get good at that motion. Now,
When we do the slide, sir, is that feet are together?
yeah, it's just a double
And then
step.
hop out.
Just a double step. Double step across and land here. And then just go into it. Right leg,
The knee.
left leg. So I'll always land with my feet apart.
Sorry.
Think of every motion follows feet apart. Side step, feet apart, one knee up, feet apart, one knee up, feet apart, side step, feet apart. You're always going to be in this position. You're not going to ever be standing with your feet together. All right, so let's go into footwork drill number 2. Since we did such an amazing job there. Right leg in front, well, it doesn't matter. You're going to be switching as you go. But we're going to go forward, back switches. We did lateral motion last week. So we're going to go forward, poop, poop, backward, poop, poop, jump and switch. So don't walk and switch. Follow these guys, not me. Step forward, double step, step backward, switch. And you do this as fast as you can comfortably do this. The switch doesn't go anywhere. When you get back to your spot, and you jump and switch feet, you should still be in the same position you started in. We're going to go for 30 seconds. Forward, back, switch, forward, back, switch. Just making sure you're making all the motions. Once again, this is not a stamina exercise, so the goal is not to go fast just for the sake of going fast. If you go fast and you're doing it correct, that is great. Then you can turn it into stamina. But first, get the coordination. 30 seconds. Let's work. Go. There you go. Don't jump so high. Go real low to the ground so you're switching faster. Switch. Yeah, there you go. And time. All right, so we're even going to amp that one up a little bit. So the same way that we added a little bit to the jumping jack part with the side steps, we're going to add a little bit to this part. But the only thing we're going to do different is we're going to add a switch in between every step now. So I'm going to go step forward, switch, step backward, switch. So you're going to put your dominant leg in front. So for me it's right, and I'm going to advance on my right leg. Then you're going to switch, and I'm going to retreat on my less dominant leg. Boom. One more time. Switch. Forward. Switch. Backwards. The important part is to not get confused between a switch and a step. So one more time. We're going to do this slow. Everybody do one shuffle step forward. Jump switch feet. One shuffle step backwards. Jump switch feet. All right. So for 30 seconds, this is drill number 2. Drill number 1 is the side straddle knees. We're still going to try that one. All right, let's go. And time. Sounds like a little drum roll. Seemed like everybody had that. I really only watched Miss Smith, but I didn't see any weird stutter steps out of the corner of my eye.
Slower.
All right. So it's a whole lot different when I'm not actually doing it with you guys because I can talk in between because I'm not breathing heavy. Yeah. So, or I can do that Mrs. Matthews talk. She's never out of breath. She's the biggest slacker out here. All right. Hi, Cassie. Hi, Riley. All right, so we're gonna do level 3A. There's a more advanced version of this one, but I'm not gonna do that one until our second round of sparring. We're only gonna do 2 rounds of sparring, today. But the round 3. Oh, by the way, your sparring match is gonna be a minute and a half, not 2 minutes this time. So it's a little bit shorter than last week, and it might be a little bit easier, but it's going to be more based on what we're trying to accomplish. So all you're going to do is you're going to add kicks to the same motion. So the transition from that, which is going to be drill 2, into drill 3, which is what I'm about to try to demonstrate, should be seamless. Meaning I'm going to continually make the same motions, but I'm just going to add a kick. Now forward is round kick, backward is side kick. All right, so I'm going to go step forward, round kick, switch. Step backwards, side kick, switch. So I'm not kicking on the switches. I'm only kicking on the advance and the retreat. So forward, kick. Should be step, kick. Put it down. Hop and switch. Then I'm going to double step and then side kick. So don't try to do this at the same time. That's awkward every time you guys try to do that. It's 1, 2, side kick. And then make sure you set your foot down, always ending in this position before you switch feet. So, forward, kick, switch, backward, kick, switch. Always setting your foot down. Okay, guard up. 30 seconds, ready to go. We got double step, front leg back first. Left side
on my
step.
feet.
Yeah, there you go. And time. All right, so all of those drills are our warm up. Let's go ahead and do our stretches, and then we'll get into how we actually apply it. Feet apart. Go down into grab. Bend your knees as hard as you can. Use your forearms to push your knees apart. If you want to go just a little bit harder, or if your legs are really tired, put your hands on the ground, like Miss Smith is doing, and lean into it. You use your body weight, gravity, as well as pushing your elbows apart. Oh no, I'm demonstrating. I'm not standing on the screen. You want your knees to go this way. So you don't want to just bend your knees and just chill. Your arms are actually pushing your legs apart. All right, straighten them legs out, stretch your hamstrings. See, if I could just hit this angle at all, like my lower back never goes below my hips when I stretch. Reach over to one side. Over to the other side. Notice I only hold each position for about 10 to 15 seconds, somewhere around that area. And for me personally, when I'm stretching, if I get to the end of this whole thing and I don't feel loose, I just do it again. I go back to the middle. This is how you stretch or warm up based on feel. There's not a specific time where your muscles will go, okay, we're good. For some of us, it's going to take longer. Some of you guys, it might not take that long, but as long as you go through all the motions. Go ahead and relax. As long as you go through all the motions at the very least once, when you start kicking again, it should feel a lot easier. So once again, we're only going to do this circuit twice. All right, so everything you just did was your warm-up. You got to do it back-to-back for it to actually be considered the sparring circuit. And then afterwards, I have a couple basic techniques for you guys to add and practice. All right, so starting with the knees up, apart, knee up, side step, 30 seconds. We're going to wait for the clock to get all the way to the top here. And we're going to transfer seamlessly from one to the next. So there will be no ready, set, go. All right, knees up, go. Switches. Now go. Forward switch, backward switch. Forward switch, backward switch. And last one, add a kick to it. Let's do it. Forward kick, switch, backward kick, switch.
We're going to do it reverse.
If anybody was here with us last week, this should actually be easier than last week, because last week we had the lunging round kicks, and those things killed me. Especially because I think I'd already done the workout before this. I think I did my workout before this one. My legs were toast. And time. There's round one. So we're going to rest for a second and catch our breath. You're going to get some water. Catch your breath. Notice that sparring is very similar to like a lot of different video games, things you've seen in movies. A lot of that applies here, where the fighter can, in a big way, only be as good as the weapons that you have at your disposal. Now, there are many weapons that you can attain that a lot of people don't even think of. So footwork is probably the biggest one. You think of round kicks or hook kicks, or you think of specific moves, And while moves are good, the strategies and the way that you use those moves are more important than than the move itself. Especially when it comes to like round kick. If you have a really good round kick, great. Everybody and their mom has been hit by a round kick 100 times. So if you have repeat round kicks, that's like the bare minimum. But everybody's seen it, so they're going to be more likely to defend against, just a basic round kick. So how I hit people with my round kick or when I choose to use my round kick is going to be more important. So the footwork gives you a tool, a weapon that a lot of people don't pay attention to, unless they're higher up. The world champions, the highly competitive martial artists probably do spend quite a bit of time working on their footwork and not just their kicks. But if you're not drilling your footwork, you're probably going to struggle quite a few times. You're going to see targets and just not be able to hit them because you're out of position. But my footwork puts me in position to hit targets more or less at any point in time during the match. Whether I'm on defense or offense, sidestepping, backstepping, it doesn't matter. You should always be in position to deliver a kick. All right, that's the goal. Obviously, your partner can do something about it, and that becomes the chess match. But if you don't have that footwork to begin with, then it really doesn't matter. One of the other things that you guys can use as a tool is your knowledge, your ability to read a partner. Can't do too much about that in this scenario, but I can give you guys a little bit of stuff here in a second. All right, so in about 10 seconds, we're going to start round number 2, focusing on that footwork, trying to develop this weapon so that we have it at our disposal. Side to sides with those knees up, and let's go.
Same way you're going.
Oh, I was so close. I thought I had it for a second. It actually looked like I had it, but then I put my hand away. 5 more seconds. Then we're switching forward switches. And let's go. Forward switch, backward switch. Forward switch, backward switch. Five more seconds, and then you add your kicks. Finish the match. Let's go. Kick, switch, kick, switch. The quality of the kick right now is not your emphasis. Alright, it's just the footwork. If the kick is suffering, don't worry too much about it. We have different ways to train kicks. And time. Full size. There's match number 2. Yes, like I said, there's different ways to train kicks themselves to make your kicks stronger. This kind of goes along a philosophy that's one of my pet peeves in the gym. Now, is there anybody that goes to the gym and lifts, let's say, back? Let's say you do deadlift or you do bent over barbell row, and you do it with straps, or there are people out there that do it without straps. If you do it without straps, your forearms work a lot harder, so you improve your grip strength. If you do it with straps, you can relax your hands a little bit and, for the most part, do more weights because your back can hold more weight than your forearms can. Now, my philosophy is when I go to the gym, I work what I went there to work. So if I went there to work back, I really don't care what happens with my forearms because I didn't go there to work forearms. I feel like that's kind of common sense that a lot of people don't have. They know, man, it's not real if you're not working your grip strength. I didn't say I can do this if I wanted to work my grip strength. I didn't come here to work my grip strength. If I can push my back, the muscle I came here for, harder using this tool, why wouldn't I be smart and use the equipment that's there for me to get better results on the one thing I want? So we just did our footwork, and that was a primary goal. Kicks were not the focus. I do not need to work my kicks at the same time. I can work my kicks separately. What we're going to do is we're going to start off without a target. You can use a wall or something like that, consider it training wheels to lean on. but I prefer you practice this standing straight up. So we're gonna do 5 sets of 5 round kicks. We're gonna do this on both legs, and you're gonna do this as quickly as possible. Your 5 round kicks go repeat, and you're trying your best not to hop or leave your pivot. So the very first thing you should do is get your pivot down. So now if my pivot is correct and it's facing backward, and I do not hop, I don't need to change position at all throughout all of my kicks. I need to get proper alignment where my shoulders lean over this foot and get my chamber, moderately far back. The further back your chamber goes, the bigger your kick is going to look and a little bit slower. If you have a shortened chamber for sparring only, which is more about right here, where my knee is across my body, it's not behind my body, that is okay. Ignore the pivot on that. I'm really afraid to make that motion. So you're going to throw 5 round kicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Set it down, pick it right back up, hit it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you're going to do that 5 times. Try not to move that back leg. Try not to hop. Keep your pivot. We want 5 quality kicks. Both legs. Let's do it.
Too far back.
4.
If you fall forward, you're not leaning backwards enough. If you fall backwards, you're either leaning too far back or your pivot might not be back there to support that direction. If you fall side to side, that's because you're piking. All of this will give me instant feedback on what I'm doing right or wrong. If you feel like you can throw these kicks forever, you hit the pocket. You had your pivot, you had your shoulders in the right position, you had your knee in the right position. Yes, both sides. 5 sets, both sides. The higher your chamber is, by the way, the easier it is to balance. When your knee starts going down to the ground, your weight is lower to the floor, and it's harder to not set your foot down.
I do my bad leg first.
When you get your leg up here, it's a lot easier just to sit in that position. Right. You should also, if I'm spotting a target, you should also not be able to see anything from here all the way down to your knee. You should be able to see maybe your knee and down to your foot, but because everything's in a straight line, if I pick up this leg, even if I get it up to my normal height, I can't see this part of my leg because it's in line with my shoulder. So all I can see is my shoulder. If I can see this whole part of my leg where my pocket is because I'm bent over like this. The bent over position will happen either because my pivot is facing crooked or my chamber, but if I straighten out my pivot and pull my chest up, now all of this stays in line, and when I chamber, I cannot see my leg, and when my leg gets up to here, I can only see my knee. So use that as your guide. Look at your target, and then watch your knee cover your target. Once again, if you see your whole leg, you need to straighten up a bit, keep everything aligned. All right, so now we're going to go with targets. Because we have sport people, this will work very well. So if you have paddles, here you go. I'll be Jim's partner. If you have paddles, hold a paddle. If you have a bag like that, hold a bag. If you have pillows or hands, just do that. You're just going to hold your paddle out or your bag out, and your partner is going to throw 3 sets this time of round kick, trying to hit the target every time. This requires 2 things, especially if you're holding a target like this. One is going to require targeting, obviously, control of where my knee is pointed, but it also requires control of my follow-through, because when I follow through on a bag that moves, if I hit too hard, it will take the bag time to get back, and it slows down your second kick, because you have to wait. All right, so you need to hit to where the bag barely moves, but don't miss. So I suggest starting slow to figure out your power, and then hit it 3 times. Every time I'm going up, I'm going to go a little bit faster. So 3 sets of 5 kicks, but hitting a target this time. Hold the target about belt level at first, and if you feel like you can go up, if you've got your kick control, go a little bit higher depending on your flexibility. All right, let's work. 1, 2, 3.
A couple other times to catch up.
Lean further. Lean back, lean back, lean back. There you go. Now, I want you to do 2 things that first. I want you to pivot that foot harder. Not move it farther. You can keep your feet together. Pivot. So turn it backward. And then lean back. Lean back significantly because my toes are pointing back here. When you lean back here, you can stop your weight with your toes. I can't stop my weight going that way because you have no toes underneath. So lean back far. 1, 2, 3. That's closer to the right idea. 1, 2, 3, 4. Further back. There you go. If you feel yourself falling forward, simply bend this leg a little bit and lean further. I can get completely flat and still throw a kick, but I can't lean forward and throw a kick. Top of that foot.
1. That's my good legs too. That's sad. No, I'm leaning back.
All right.
There we go. Tighten up.
Yeah, there's too many things to think about. There's too many things to be like, oh, I've got to
Watching my
hit.
foot and trying to keep this.
Yeah, and the follow through, and prop gap is way different. So this is how you're going to build your kick. This works on every aspect of the kick. Because if I'm throwing 2 or 3 kicks, a lot of you guys can like sneak 3 kicks out before you fall over, which you may have seen here. So I'm falling over and I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you just shake your leg or you just count faster before you fall. And as I said in the first part of that, your goal should be when I finish 5, I can put my foot down, but I put my foot down because I'm finished, not because I lost my balance. You should feel like, oh, I can do this forever. And if you get to that position and you know you hit this motion or this alignment with your upper body correctly, if your pivot matches your lean, when I lean backwards, my weight is on my toes and I can use my foot to push backwards. But the opposite will not happen. I'll face this way. If I lean too far forward, as soon as I pick up this leg, I fall over, and that's because this leg is slanted that way. I have to lean this way. Now that my leg is straight up and down, I'm going to try to keep my leg here and just use my body to put more weight on that side of my body. And now I have even weight. It allows me to hold my balance. As soon as this leg starts to drop, I have more weight towards the ground, and all my weight went to my heel, which is why I wasn't able to keep my foot up. If your weight goes to your heel, you have no toes over there. You're going to fall over. I need my weight on the ball of my foot. So the more I can lean this way, the better chance I have of recovering lost balance. I won't recover it if I fall forward. You won't recover it if you fall sideways if you have a correct pivot. The only way going sideways will be able to hold balance is if my pivot is wrong, which will also mean your kick is wrong. There's 100 reasons on why that kick is wrong. If you want me to explain it, as always, I will. But as for right now, just take my word for it and know that I'm right. All right, so the last one that we're going to do with this is the advanced version that I told you guys about earlier. So we did a step forward, kick, switch, a step backward, side kick. So we're going to add counters or follow-ups to these. So I'm going to go step forward, round, axe. Okay, so axe kick, you're simply going to step on the target. If I'm holding out my hand, I'll go from here to here. If I'm holding out a bag, I'll go from here to here. If you're holding out that bag, it's just like holding out your hand from here to here. All right, so my partner can go round kick and step on it, axe kick, which I'll have one of these guys demonstrate in a second. Then on your back motion, you're going to step backwards and go side kick, spinning hook kick. All right, and you want this to go as fast as you can, but do keep in mind that I'm going backward and trying to stop momentum at the same time. So there's 2 mistakes that happen here. One, you're trying to do the spin kick too fast, so you shorten the side kick. My side kick needs to hold you in place. So I'm going to finish that side kick, so it's not going to come out super fast like an attack combo. It's not an attack, it's defense. It's going to go a little bit slower. And then the second thing is that you fall back or continue leaning back for your spin. I need to actually shoot my hips forward as far as I can while leaning backwards to make sure that I don't miss my target.
Okay, don't sit down during this. Come on. I see you.
All right, so Miss Min, my example. So adding a kick to everything, and you're going to pick one leg and do it 3 times because you'll be kicking with both legs the entire time. So you're going to go skip round kick into an axe. So I just drop the bag. Now for the side kick, if you don't want to get hit, just have him kick the air or back on your hip, side kick, hook kick. All right, so you're hitting this combination 3 times. You can use it. You can throw it like a kicking drill, where you go from one right back into the next one, which is what the kicking drills are for, by the way. It's for your footwork. But we're focusing on the kicks now. So how I kick out of the footwork. We practice the footwork at first. We practice the kicks. Now you're kind of putting it together, but keep your focus on how you throw each kick. All right. So let's throw 3 times.
With the target.
3 times. Pick a leg and hit it 3 times. Get round, back, step on it. There you go. Back up. Side kick. All right, try it again. Round, back, step back, side, spin. Good, 1. Round, back,
I forgot what I was.
side, spin. All right, not too bad. Good. Kick a little closer, like on this line. That's been a little too wide there.
I do my hook kick. She's running them.
The best way to practice that is
Not
to tell them to
reverse
get
that.
2 chairs
Just
together
try it.
and practice through chairs without touching the chairs. And the more comfortable you are, the
Wrong
closer
foot.
you get to the chair. It just makes you kick straight. All right, guys. So that is your sparring drills for the day. Now you have 2 different sparring matches that we went through, and all of those motions in that work your footwork. So I highly suggest taking. Doesn't have to be the same exact drills that I give you. We did icky shuffle, all that kind of stuff. You can take any matter of footwork and try your best to, form a circuit out of it. And switching back and forth between different foot motions is what I would suggest. So, for example, ours, you started going side to side, building lateral motion, with chambers in the middle of our lateral motion. Then we went front to back, so advance or defense motions. Lateral motions are kind of defense as well. Instead of just going like icky shuffle or reverse icky shuffle into in and outs and stuff. These are all ladder drills, but the one thing that most of them have in common is they're side to side. So I want to try to be good in all directions, so I'm never out of position to kick. Once you get all those positions, then you try to add kicks to those positions, such as what we did for drill 3. And if you want to add a target to those positions, feel free to do that. Otherwise, we will see you tomorrow. Hopefully I have some demonstrators here to demonstrate tricking, because I'm not doing a dang thing. Deuces.